Chris,
I ran across it, but it just shit happens.
can you hear me?
People are always.
Do I need to put headphones on, or can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me.
Can't hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, I can't hear you, though. Let me get a set of headphones. Do you have any headphones here?
Or, I can send Chris a link.
How in the world does the audio not work? That is unbelievable.
Good morning, everyone. Chris Miller's here. This is I've never had a fight promoter on. It's a small world. He lives in West Virginia, and it was weird because I was thinking, does Chris know Travis Bajent since they all live in West Virginia? Oh, where is everyone? I think everyone's overwatching.
You say go into the gear to change the audio output. What do you mean by the gear? In the actual app itself, or in the computer?
Down at bottom screen.
So it's showing 100% audio. Got it.
Setting. They don't do this shit on CNN.
Roger doesn't have any.
We will figure it out. Good morning, guys. I think everyone's overwatching. You say, where's everyone? I think people are overwatching Brian on Rich Froning's podcast.
There you go.
I think that went public this morning, so people are over there having fun. Good morning, Summer. Good morning.
Got you now.
Oh, you do?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, good to see you, dude.
Yeah, sorry for the background. It's a little sterile, but I'm in the corporate office, so.
Hey, you want to know what a small world it is? I was scrolling through your Instagram. This is a dear friend of mine.
No way.
I made a movie about this guy called Pulling John, a professional arm wrestling movie, maybe 15 years ago. I talked to Travis probably at least once a month still.
I watched that movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's a good dude, man. Just ball of energy.
How did you meet him?
Long story short, when I did that whole crazy political thing and ran for governor, I got introduced to him by a guy named Eric Carper that's a car dealer who lives in Martinsburg. And Eric's got a classical Christian school, and my wife has educated our kids in a classical Christian school, and he connected us. But anyway, Travis is coming to the event.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I texted him this last night. I'm like, hey, you know this cat? And he just wrote back, yes. That's awesome. Dude, West Virginia really is only this big, right?
Yeah.
It was
1.7 million people.
And you all know each other. You're all related.
So it's kind of funny. Like West Virginia is probably more tribal than Afghanistan.
Good.
And so you've got 55 counties, and the way the whole state was set up is that every county, the courthouse, every resident had to be a horse ride away from the courthouse. So that's why with a state so small, we've got 55 counties, and that's kind of just leads to the way that we are. And so it's kind of funny, like the people in Logan are different than the people in Mingo County, and they're different than the people in Berkeley County. It's just the way West Virginia is, but still everybody knows everybody. So it's kind
crazy.
of funny.
Yeah. And what a great dad too. And that kind of explains why he sent his son to the local college with no hope of going to the NFL through a local college. And there he is, a fucking superstar.
Yep.
With the Chicago Bears.
And he is better than the starting quarterback.
I think so too.
And all of the offensive coordinators all around the NFL, like the behind the scenes chatter is, watch out for Tyson Bagent. That's the guy we want. Watch out for Tyson Bagent. And so there's leadership is a real thing, even when you're talking about a quarterback. So when you've got someone that's a freak athlete, like Michael Vick, for example, not the best leader. So Tyson's got all the intangibles and all the skills, but he is a way better leader than the starting QB for the Bears. Starting QB for the Bears is like a fake leader. He's one of those guys that pretends to be a leader, lots of ability, but not a real leader. And so even the teammates in the Bears know this.
Hey, what do you think? This is totally off subject here. By the way, I didn't know you ran for governor. That's interesting. What do you think it is? Like, what do you think are some of the qualities of a good leader?
You have to have a level of empathy. You have to be able to step back and observe what's going on around you and disconnect your own feelings from the feelings of other people. Real observation.
So that's kind of polar opposites, right? Empathy, and
Yeah.
then also be able to disconnect.
Yes.
Okay.
But then you also have to have a level of ego, right? Because, and it's something that's natural in people. That ego is what drives you to want to be a leader. And so it's this kind of dichotomy, and there's certain people that get hit with it and certain people that don't. But the best leaders you will ever see surround themselves with people that are better and smarter than themselves in individual categories, and then bring them all together to create a unit that is greater than the sum of the parts. And the best leaders figure that out.
I had a pretty significant leadership position that I was put in my 40s, and I thought leadership was going to be being nice and making the team happy. And I quickly realized that got me nowhere. That was like giving a little kid candy. It made him happy for just like 2 minutes, and then he just wanted more. And then I watched the leaders around me, and what I noticed that even if people didn't like their leaders, if their leaders were honest, and they had vision, like that's the ego part. People would work for them. And I was like, wow, who would, like, you have to almost trade your integrity for kindness. You only get one or the other, kindness or integrity. It's kind of bizarre.
That is exactly right. I think that the best way to summarize it in one sentence is a leader provides certainty in times of uncertainty.
Yes. And then you want to work for him. You trust him.
Yeah.
You feel safe.
Absolutely.
Daddy's home.
Exactly. And that, you know, I hate to say it like that, but you're right. It's, you feel safe. I've got like 550 employees in just the automotive space of our businesses. And you don't build something like that unless you've got leadership acumen, but then people don't stay unless they trust you. And that's the key ingredient is trust. There has to be that element of trust there. And you think about some of the greatest leaders throughout history. I mean, there's some crazy people. And Genghis Khan was not, while he was way more rational than people gave him credit for, we're talking about a guy that conquered the known world. You don't do that with sensibility, right? So there's this element of charisma that comes along with it. There's certain people that people just follow for some reason, and some of that has to do with charisma. And then there's an element of like, you have to have a higher level of energy, and you can't be paced. You have to have urgency when you're a leader as well.
And I guess you have to have some unreasonable dreams. Like you got someone like Elon who wants to go to Mars, and it's like, holy shit, really, dude? But like, we believe him.
Yeah.
Even though it's like preposterous, like we believe him. We're like, shit, we're gonna do it.
He's something different. The work ethic and the ability to assimilate rapidly massive amounts of information. He has a really high aptitude as well. He is not a conventional leader, but he's a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a high functioning human being. My gosh.
To put it, another thing I like is about Travis and his son, Tyson, is they're like this hybrid, at least for coming from a California, Berkeley, libtard world that I was raised in. You get I apologize if you're liberal.
Do I look liberal?
No, you don't sound liberal. But they got the black man swagger.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I hear Travis talk, I hear the confidence of a strong black man.
Moxie. Yeah.
Is that what that's called? Moxie.
Just another word for it.
Yeah, they're like and it's authentic as shit. They transcend race in their presentation. I just love that about them.
And that's the other funny thing is, you look at the people that they surround themselves with. It's all different ethnicities, all different socioeconomic backgrounds.
Yeah,
and that's the other. That's another side of leadership. Is that?
Hey, let me just show this really quick because I'm really excited for Saturday, and then I got to ask you about running for governor.
Yeah,
Mountain State Brawl. It's a one of a kind event, right? The first of its kind.
Never been done before.
Is it? At first, I thought it was 32 dudes. Then I read somewhere else it's 40 guys.
Yeah, so there are going to be 35, at minimum 35 fights because it's a bracket tournament.
Okay.
And in between, so you've got 5 different weight classes, And in between each round of the tournament, there's actually going to be a professional real boxing match. So there's also going to be 3 boxing matches shuffled in there.
Okay.
So the guy that's created all of this is a guy named Chase Hill.
Okay.
And Chase Hill is one of the owners of Chill Sports.
Okay.
And he was a boxing commissioner in West Virginia back in 2016 and figured out a little loophole in this and then figured out how to get it approved. And it is the only thing like this in its kind that has ever been done. I mean, we're talking about it's going to be like watching 35 bar fights all in one night.
These guys are not professionals. They're amateur fighters.
Yeah, or they think they're professionals. So none of them have a professional record, right?
That's like, I think I'm a professional podcaster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of are, right?
I got a light behind me and a microphone.
And sponsors. That makes you professional.
There you go.
But,
and what makes it so unique? Is it the 1 round, 1 minute?
It is a 60-second sprint. And so it's kind of like that great equalizer, too. You think about a boxing match. I box.
Okay.
In 2022, I was rated #1 in the country in my weight class and division through USA Boxing. I've got an amateur boxing pedigree, never, ever really fought professionally. But there's a master's division in USA Boxing for people that are 35 and up.
Okay.
I'm 46 years old, but back in 2022, when I was rated #1, I was 43, 40,
Yeah, that's wild.
And so I was competing still at a really, really high level in amateur boxing. It takes cardio. I mean, even in 2-minute rounds, 3 2-minute rounds is absolutely exhausting. Well, the great equalizer is that now we're talking about 60 seconds. And so we got in West Virginia, we got some big old corn-fed country boys that have been in some, tussles in their life. And even those guys are going to be able to compete in 60 seconds. So it kind of transcends the cardio requirement, and it also speeds up the action. And so there's not going to be any posing. There's not going to be any let me watch and see how this thing goes and wait for this guy to get tired and make a mistake. It is going to be like a tornado meeting a hurricane. It's just going to be like, whoosh. And that's where the real entertainment is going to come in. It's going to be wild.
Anyone can purchase this. It's Saturday. It's this Saturday. You have to go to chillsports.net. It's a pay-per-view, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 4 p.m. for us California folk. And what's the cost of the pay-per-view?
I think it's $29.99.
Cheap.
It's not crazy expensive.
Cheap.
And the other wild thing is that the national interest that this thing has drawn because of the idea. I mean, there was a video, an organic video. One of the guys that is announcing this with me is a guy named Wes Thompson. And we're going to be announcing all this ringside and then also communicating through pay-per-view. And Wes is a marketer by nature. He's got several of his own advertising agencies and is just a really charismatic, fun guy. He and I have been doing crazy commercials for our automotive group for a long time, and we really click. And Wes just did an organic video talking about this thing. And it's been 4 days, there's 400,000 views.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
Congratulations.
40,000 shares just from an organic post talking about this thing. And on my Instagram, it's like one of the 3rd most recent posts. You can actually see it. But the national interest, there are executives from promotion companies flying into West Virginia, into Bluefield, West Virginia, to come see this thing. So, it's wild.
How do they determine the winner if a minute? Because I think it said no scoring. How do you determine and if it's bracket, how do you determine the winner if no one gets knocked out?
We are working on that right now. We've got some proposals in for the commission that they have to accept. But let me give you a couple of examples. Audience applause.
Okay.
Let the audience pick. Another one is, have you seen the slap fighting stuff that they're doing?
Yep. Had a bunch of slap fighters on the show.
Well, imagine that being how you determine who wins the fight if it's a draw.
Round 2 is a slap fight.
And behind their back, you got a token. You flip it. One side is blue for the blue corner. The other side's red for the red corner. You flip it. That person gets to go first. And it's punch by punch until somebody's done.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Commission's got to approve it, but that'd be wild.
What was the what was the hang up? Why is this one of a kind? Because no one had thought of it before, or because there's something sketchy about it because you fight multiple times in a night?
Both. No one has
Okay.
thought of it before, and also the amount of times that a fighter would fight in a night is different than because it's amateur boxing, right? Is different as well than having an 8 or 10 round professional fight. Like that's an incredible amount of fighting when you really think about it.
Yes.
But the way the wording is that each fight counts as a fight, and you can't fight most of the time that many times in a night.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of time watching UFC fights, and a guy will fight and like he'll hurt his finger and he'll be out for 6 months. Like they'll just say the commission has put him out for 6 months. So these guys have to fight, and then before their next fight, they have to get approved for another fight.
Yes, exactly.
And where will it be live? Like what?
The Bluefield Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia, and it's on all the promotion material, but it has a capacity of 3,500 people, and we should have well over 3,200 tickets sold, in the next day or so. And the crazy thing is that a lot of these events, like 70% of the ticket sales happen the week of, and 50% of them happen the night of.
Right.
And so we're going to have a bunch of people that show up that can't get tickets because the darn thing's going to be sold out. So if you're listening, get your tickets now or get it on pay-per-view. I never expected the kind of attention that we're getting for this thing to happen immediately. I knew we were onto something, but I didn't realize it was going to be this big, this fast. This is the first event. And we have people flying in from around the country to watch this thing.
Do you have to live in West Virginia to fight?
No, we have some fighters from Kentucky and from Virginia, that have entered. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to do 5 more of these this year.
Wow. Holy cow.
Because we've had convention managers from around the state of West Virginia calling us going, you got to do us next. You got to do us next. So where Travis lives in Martinsburg, for example, is one of the places we're going to do. Huntington, West Virginia, which is my hometown, is one of the other locations that we're going to do. And it's got a big convention center there, and we're going to pack that thing.
And how many weight classes?
5.
How did you decide on that? Why not? It's your first event. Why not just one weight class? Like, hey, guys, let's make it easy on ourselves.
That's a good question. So Chase Hill is the one that kind of figured that out. He and his wife, Janessa, who are just fantastic people. But it had to do with the interest and then wanting to make sure that everybody got a chance because, I know a lot of guys that are 140 pounds that are scrappy, and I'd be more worried about sparring with them than the 250-pound guys because they're slow on their feet and don't move well. And those scrappy guys are just as fun to watch. And think about the UFC, for example. The 155-pound division, like that fight between Chandler and Pimblatt last weekend, was off the charts. Yeah. And I mean that's where a lot of the talent and the speed and the the grit comes in. So might as well.
You bring up a good point too. Even like you go back to the Mighty Mouse days, right? And you would see him throw 10 different kinds of kicks, 10 different punches, and try 10 different submissions. And you see heavyweights, and it's like 2 kicks, 2 punches, and 1 submission that they have in the arsenal. Yeah,
exactly.
Well said.
It all has to do with aerobic capacity, right? You can suck in so much oxygen. Your lungs have a certain capacity, but then it's got to fuel all of those muscles, and it takes a lot more energy. So the action, honestly, is in the middle weight classes.
Chris, the interest part makes a lot of sense to me too. I guess I was thinking about CrossFit events I go to. The more divisions you have, the more interest you get also. So like if you can have 10 athletes, each of them will bring 4 family members, as opposed to you only have 3 athletes. You'll get half as many family members.
Exactly.
Will there be a champion for each weight class that will be the Mountain State Brawl champion?
Yes, there'll be a $1,000 gold belt given to them, and then there'll also be a prize money.
And then they get invited back to defend their title at the next one.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's the vision. It's going to be kind of like its own league of 1-minute fighting.
Correct. And the other piece is that there's going to be so many people that want to enter in. We may have to expand the brackets a little bit because we have people waiting in line, dying for somebody to drop off to jump right in.
Okay.
Like, most of the time promoters don't talk about this kind of stuff, but we had 3 fighters. Fighters get scared, right? There's nerves. We had 3 people drop out Sunday, instantly filled.
Yeah.
And now they're calling back like, I might change my mind. Nope. You blew it.
Yeah.
And so there is a waiting list of people to get on, not only for this Bluefield event, but all around the state. There are people already going like, we're ready. And so there's like a stable. And so you think about, this is going to kind of be like a combination of March Madness with a lot of WWE influence, but with real punches thrown. So we're going to have fighter interviews. You can see on Chill Sports Facebook page, all these fighters are doing little, 1-minute promo videos, and all their friends and family see it and share it. And then we're going to have face-offs with them. They're trash talking each other. And a lot of, you got to have, not only some cojones, but you have to have a little bit of, self-belief to do this stuff. And so there's a lot of ego and a lot of trash talking, and it is just going to be some real, like, high quality entertainment.
And if there's an ass fight, it doesn't matter. Like if one guy's like, gets in there and doesn't realize he's scared till he gets in there, it doesn't matter because the fight will be over in 45 seconds later and the audience can move on to the next fight. And he'll lose because the crowd will boo him and he's toast.
Yeah. Well, and also, man, if you get in there and you're scared, that's when you start making a lot of mistakes and you'll get out pretty quick. First 15 seconds when somebody is coming at you, like a whirlwind and you're scared, you got a problem on your hands.
How do you know Chase? What's yours, and how do you and Chase Hill know each other?
So I've always been involved in the boxing world, and Chase has been a promoter in West Virginia for a long time. And oddly enough, Chase has also been in the car business, which is one of the things that I do. So our paths have crossed multiple times throughout our professional careers, and we always had a mutual respect for each other. And I really hope he was going to be able to jump on. He's just a good old country boy, interesting education. He's got a doctorate in chiropractic. He's a chiropractic doctor, and also has been in the automotive business, has a chiropractor's business, or he did in Williamson for a long period of time. Just an interesting guy, but at the end of the day, he's just a good dude. He also is in athlete promotion. So he and his brother run an NIL business for NCAA, and know where a lot of these really high quality high school and college athletes are.
And NIL, that's the thing where now people can get paid for using their likeness if they're college athletes, whereas a few years ago they couldn't.
Yeah, name, image, and likeness. And
okay.
If you think about what the NCAA has done, they basically have taken what was illegal in the 90s, because all these athletes were paid cash underneath the table. You think about UNLV and Jerry Tarkanian, that was a bought and paid for ball team. And they were all paid money, cash under the table, and they also got fake jobs. Now it's just legal. So it has brought that into the NCAA athletics, and these athletes are now able to be paid for their name, image, and likeness. But it's also kind of ruining college athletics, because now you've got an open transfer portal and people get to jump into that portal and transfer if they don't like what's happening. Well, if you think about what really is important to make it into the NFL or into the NBA, is you have to have mental toughness and resiliency, because you're going to be in a league with all of the premier athletes in the world. And if you don't have mental toughness and resiliency and you crumble when pressure happens, you're not going to make it there. So a lot of these athletes that are demanding all these high dollar amounts, and then they're like, well, if I don't get this and get that, I'm going to transfer. Those are the ones that the NFL aren't going to look for. So if you really want to be an NBA or an NFL athlete, you should not be transferring schools, because they see that and go, got a baby on our hands. So it kind of backfires in a sense.
Yeah, it is a trip to me. I haven't thought about it, in depth, but it is a trip to me that college athletes get paid.
They've been paying them cash under the table for years, man.
Yeah.
It's just bigger.
You said you're at are you at a car dealership now?
I am at my corporate headquarters. So I've got 11 car dealerships. I've got a bunch of them in West Virginia. I've got Bristol, Tennessee, Wytheville, Virginia. I've got a Kia dealership in Charlotte, North Carolina. So kind of spread out. And I've bought the second floor of a building several years back right before the pandemic happened, during the pandemic, there was a bank that went into receivership themselves and had the feds on them, and they had to sell floors to their building. And I bought the second floor of the St. James building and put our corporate office in here. So just West Virginia family business. I mean, it's that age-old story. My grandfather was born in a dirt floor in Bear Creek, Kentucky. And when he was 5, his mom died, and his dad remarried, and the new wife didn't like him. His name was Dutch. And so they sent Dutch to live with his 18-year-old sister. And he was dyslexic, but this is back in the day where they didn't know what learning disabilities were. So everybody just told him he was dumb. And then the military, the Marines, actually figured out that he was really, really sharp. And he flew for the Black Sheep Squadron in World War II in the Korean War as a fighter pilot, and then came back home after the wars and got into the car business.
This is your granddad?
Yeah, my grandfather. And started out at the bottom and worked his way up to the top, became a general manager. And then the guy that owned the dealership wanted to buy a store in Florida. It's a guy named Roger Dean. And Chevrolet told him, well, that's fine, but to do that, you got to sell that store to Dutch, because my grandfather was a really high producer. And my grandfather got a chance at ownership and bought what is now Dutch Miller Chevrolet. My dad got involved and ran it with his uncle, or with my uncle, his brother. And then I eventually got involved in the businesses and then grew it from what was 2 to, we've got 26 different enterprises. We've got 13 car dealerships, and we're in insurance and reinsurance and real estate. And, I've got a marketing company and a bunch of other businesses and real estate. So,
Chris, you did all that while training. Your days must have been crazy. You must have really crazy days. You did that while getting in shape to be the best boxer in your age division.
I'm a pretty high energy guy. And if you think about it just from a chain event, for me to go hard all day long, I need to get a good night's sleep. For me to sleep, I have to really physically exhaust myself. So just one of those things. And I still don't always sleep great. So you're third generation car man. Yes, sir. Yes,
wow,
sir.
That's incredible. Do you have kids?
I do. I've got 3. I've got an 18-year-old son. I've got a 16-year-old son. And then I've got a 12-year-old little girl that I think we're all going to wind up working for one of these days. She's a firecracker, man.
Wow, that's crazy. And you started having kids early.
Relatively, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, how old did you say you are right now? You're 44?
I'm 46.
46. Well, just to give you an idea, I'm 53 and my oldest is 10. So to me, you started really early.
I did start early. I married a fantastic woman.
And you're still with her?
Absolutely. I've been sober since April 1st of 2004.
Congratulations.
My first year of marriage, I had to choose between drugs and alcohol and my wife.
Fair.
And it was a pretty easy decision. Although getting sober was hard. I mean, I locked myself in my apartment for 6 weeks and didn't leave. And my wife would come. She was a teacher. She'd come home and check on me. And I went through the detox and the shakes and all that stuff. And then eventually was able to get back to work, and rest is history. But I would never be where I am today, never would have accomplished what I did if I didn't marry the woman that I did and got sober because of her.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. What did she think about the fact that I'm assuming you've been a fighter your whole life, you've been dabbling in boxing your whole life.
She hates it. And I had to promise her that I wouldn't, when I got into politics briefly, I had to promise her that I wouldn't fight competitively anymore. And I still remember one of my first fights, because my whole family's been involved in boxing, but I didn't start competing until later in life. Like my first fight, she was walking into the arena with me, and this was in Las Vegas. And there's all kinds of famous people there. It was a wild experience. Floyd Mayweather's dad was there. Layla Ali was there. There's a bunch of MMA fighters that were in the audience. And I looked over and I said, okay, I'm going to go into the locker room, and gave her a peck on the cheek. And I saw her face change, and she started getting teary-eyed and trying to hold back crying. And I thought, why is she crying? I'm the one that's going to go fight. What's the problem? Yeah. I didn't realize that, she lives through it all, man. And it's scary to her, I guess, to watch somebody that you love go into combat it's hard. So I finished fighting with an 11-1-1 record.
Wow.
And
That's hard to walk away from that, I bet.
Yeah, it really is. And I still to this day argue that the one draw and the one fight that I lost, which was a split decision, I didn't lose either one of those fights.
Perfect.
You know, talk about ego.
So you're running these car dealerships, the insurance company, you have the real estate business, and Chase comes up to you and is like, "Hey, you want to do fight promotion with me? Fight, is that what it's called? Fight promotion, fight organization?"
Yeah, it's a promotional company. And I thought, tell me about it. What's the idea? And he pitched the idea to me, and I was like, you might be onto something here. And Chase and I have had a relationship for a long period of time. And, I think part of the appeal is I understand large business transactions and have done bunch of acquisitions and understand just how all that world works. And Chase knows that I wouldn't cheat him. And that's kind of where the foundation of the partnership is. It's the foundation of honesty. And, I'm not greedy. He's not greedy. We got to do this thing together, and it works really well. And one of the other guys that is involved in this is Wes Thompson, who I had mentioned earlier. And Wes has a percentage of ownership in all this stuff too. And I can't wait if you dial in and watch this thing. He is one of the funniest, most entertaining people you will ever meet in your life. Just like watching him tie his shoes is funny. And then you give this guy a half a bottle of bourbon and a guitar, and you are in for a show, buddy.
I like what you said about the trust. I've noticed one of the things that I've noticed in relationships is the more trust you have with a group of people, the faster and more you'll get done. You can really get a lot done when people trust each other.
I mean, we have a bunch of employees, and I've got a key executive team, and they're all better and smarter than me at everything that they focus on. And it doesn't work without them. Like, there's anybody that says like, this is, it's all because of me is just absolutely full of it. It is about the team. It always is about the team. And it is always about the caliber of people that you're privileged enough to work with.
Is this Wes Thompson here? This guy with the striped shirt?
No, that's my Uncle Mark.
Oh, what's up, Uncle Mark? Which one's Wes Thompson?
Keep going. Go up. Is this Instagram?
Yeah.
Go to Reels. Click on the Reels real quick.
Oh, is that okay? Here we go.
Where is that video? I shared it.
Maybe it's on. Is it on the Chill Sport? Does Chill Sports have an Instagram?
Yeah, go to Wes Thompson's profile, and
okay.
I'll give it to you really quickly. Hang on.
Okay. Wes.
It's weird. Like when I click on it, it's not showing it either. So his profile is going to be.
I got it.
Walker1138.
Got it. Let me follow this dude.
And it'll be the third video from.
Was he a fighter? Was he a fighter?
No,
okay.
He was a stand-up comedian. So it's that says 21,000 likes. That one right there.
So 35 bar fights in one night in one place. That's how an event that's going to happen in West Virginia is being promoted. 1 round, 1 minute only. So cardio is not a factor. No headgear. Apparently the guy that created it has spent 13 years lobbying to get this sanctioned, and it can only happen in the state of West Virginia.
Chase has had this idea for 13 years.
Yes.
It's like a Appalachian kumite. So just 60 seconds of a total melee. Just berserker mode for 60 seconds. It's called the Mountain State Brawl, and it's April 26th in Bluefield, West Virginia. 1 round, 1 minute. It's never been done before. So you're going to have some big corn-fed country boys taking on athletes, and it's a single elimination tournament. I'm like kind of into combat sports, but not like a monster fan. I'm watching this. I'm watching this one. If you have any interest, I think it's called so it's Chill Sports Mountain State Brawl, April 26th, Bluefield, West Virginia. But if you want, I'll put a link to the pay-per-view in the comments or something. I'm going to check this one out.
I'm so excited for you. Hey, you've done a lot of things to like really like, you know, obviously stimulate you. There's probably nothing more exciting than like getting a new dealership or, you know what I mean, starting a new business. Does this rank pretty high in terms of like, you feel like a little kid again, like the night before Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, right? And when you get to have fun at something you're making money at, it compounds big time. I'm probably a dopamine junkie, if I'm being honest. And the greatest rush that I've ever had in my life, bigger than any amount of drugs or alcohol that I ever used, is stepping into a ring and competing. I mean, it is a combination of pure adrenaline and dopamine and focus. I mean, it is nothing else matters. It's like tunnel vision. That is the most fun I've ever done. But being involved in these things is a lot of fun. Helping people is a lot of fun. Like helping Chase and helping Wes. I mean, it's a blast. And if you want to have belly laughs later today, I sent you the YouTube page on your cell phone. A lot of the stuff Wes and I have done together, and there's just some ridiculous stuff. We strive to entertain when we do our commercials. So, you know, you'll kind of see how our emceeing abilities will transcend and correlate into the fighting stuff. We are going to have so much fun doing this. So it'll be me and Wes with a microphone narrating all this stuff, and we'll have stories and background to all these fighters. They'll be doing one-on-one interviews with each other. It's just going to be a riot of a time, man.
Have you seen the guy on Instagram? He sells I think they're used cars.
Yes.
And you know what I'm talking about? And like he'll show like a chick with big tits walk by, and then he then he sells the car. Is he a legit car salesman?
Yeah, he is a character that is attached to a used car lot, and he's a good marketer, man. And he sells cars. I give him credit for that.
How do you think he proposed that to his boss? You think he's like?
I think he's the boss.
Oh, he is the boss.
Yes, I think
because it's risky, it's bold.
Yes, it is, and I appreciate risky. I just being a family man and having 3 kids, there's certain things I'll kind of draw the line on.
Sure. I hear you. Yeah. I'm just really impressed that, if I was a 22-year-old boy, I would go buy a car from him.
Ding, 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 ding. Right.
Right. I trust him because he's so honest that like everything he says is like, yeah, that's what I thought when I was 22.
It's basically exactly how we think when we're 22 years old.
Yeah. Oh, he died? Did he die? He died? What?
Really?
Jan, send me his Instagram account. There's no way that guy died. I noticed he was kind of looked like he was getting a little healthier. When he first started this channel, he looked like a crackhead, but I thought he was getting a little.
He did. He looked a little emaciated.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought, is this real? Because this guy has balls. This is like, I always, I have this bit that I do on the show that the only reason why everyone doesn't do OnlyFans is because they're afraid that they're not going to make money. If I told you were going to make $9 million a month, you would do it. It's like fighting, Chris. More people would fight if they weren't afraid to lose. That's the reason why 99% of people, I think, don't fight. You disagree? I'm open to it.
There's something to be said about that.
Yeah,
it's being under the spotlight, and it's the gut check.
I mean, just even in a parking lot, like someone says "fuck you" to you, and like the reason why you don't go over and punch him in the face, it's not because you're a nice guy. It's because you're like, yeah, what if I get knocked out here in the parking lot?
Yeah. The flip side of that is, would you really know what you're doing? Like there's something about honor of like the samurai and walking away and not doing it because you don't want to hurt somebody, because when you really know how to do it,
right,
there's no joy. I mean, there's no joy in kicking a kid in a wheelchair.
Right.
You know, it's that. But in general, but adrenaline plays a part. It's fight or flight. And that's the way that we're biologically wired too. So part of it is, this seems dangerous. I want to get out of here. And then the other side is like, this seems dangerous. I want a part of it. Right.
Where the OnlyFans thing is like, God, I would suck someone's dick for $9 million a month, but what if I only make $18 and my whole family sees it? You know what I mean? It's just the math, the risk to reward ratio.
You know what's pretty awesome is freedom. So
yeah.
Whatever. If you want to make a fool out of yourself, knock yourself out. If you want to turn it into an economic proposition, hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
Just don't show my kids.
Right. Yes. What did you do with that with your kids? how old were your kids when you gave them cell phones? Did you push all that down the road?
Yeah, we did. That's a really good question. My wife is a tough little cookie. Our kids were all the last kids in their individual classes to get their cell phones.
Perfect.
And it was in the 8th grade or 7th grade when our boys got them, and it was too early.
Yeah.
It was way too early.
Yeah.
They were teenagers and it was still way too early. So my daughter, who is still in middle school, she's not going to get one until she's in the 9th grade, probably. When she's in high school, that's when we'll consider it. But it's just too early, man.
Hey, dude, I agree. The topic comes up on this show all the time. My 8-year-olds and 10-year-old, I homeschool my kids, and I took them to a trampoline park. And one of them, after they're done, they're like, "Hey, that girl we were playing with said she had to leave because one of her friends was going to commit suicide." Like, how old's that girl? She's like 8. They're like 8. And I'm like, how does she know? He goes, "Oh, she was looking at her cell phone." I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what's going to happen, but I would say like 20. I mean, how old were you when you got a cell phone? Were you 25 or something?
College.
Yeah.
Yeah. College. And that was because my mom wanted to be able to communicate with me and I was going to drive across the country. So yeah. I did not get one, but they weren't prevalent when I was that age. So
right, exactly.
Everybody didn't have them.
Just think of all the crazy shit you would have done if you had a cell phone. Like when I came home from school, my mom wasn't there. I went straight to the dictionary and looked up bad words. Right. So I looked up like fuck or bitch or dick or ass. Imagine if you're a 11-year-old boy alone with fucking Chrome.
Wow.
Oh my God. The shit you would search, you would never come back from. It would
change your
course.
Yeah. They've seen more naked women at the age of 13 than kings did in a lifetime.
Wow.
I mean, you talk about, you talk about perspective. Yeah. I'm kind of glad that cell phones weren't around when I was growing up, because some of the stuff that I did would have, it'd still be, there'd be a digital thumbprint about it and you would be able to access it in some way, shape, or form still to this day. That's the other thing these kids don't realize, is that everything that they see, look at, touch, it creates a digital thumbprint that will follow them for the rest of their lives. And they become nothing more than an entity that is marketed towards from big data. And that's the other danger behind it, is their decisions and the consequences behind them will follow them for the rest of their lives. Everything. And so I'm kind of fortunate that I didn't have that, because quite frankly, I've done some dumb stuff in my life. So,
Chris, I was watching this show a couple days ago. There's a guy named Ian Carroll. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
Okay. He's an Instagrammer and a YouTuber. And he was talking about this company in Italy that's run by the former prime minister of Israel and one of the top Secret Service guys in Israel. And the name of the company is called Paragon. And that they have some software that can hack Signal, WhatsApp, and Telegram. And that obviously nothing is safe, right? Anything
I know who Paragon is.
Okay. So these guys, Ian Carroll's whole premise is they have they're based out of Italy, and they already have 800,000 dossiers of the 60 million people living in Italy. And so basically what they were saying is that blackmail is just prevalent everywhere in politics. And I was talking to one of my friends the other day, who's a former CIA guy, and I was like, "Hey, dude, how could you blackmail a politician? So what? So they have your phone jerking off to fat, pregnant women, and you're like, okay, I did it. So what?" He's like, "Well, dude, people have different thresholds for what they'll be blackmailed for."
Yeah. And
he goes, "But anything illegal, they got you." And I go, "What do you mean? Like you were like bringing heroin in, when you were 33 years old?" He goes, "Exactly." And I was thinking about that when you said you run for governor. You think that this guy Ian Carroll said blackmail is prevalent everywhere in politics. Do you suspect that's true?
I do.
It's like really crazy?
Yeah, I would say more at the national level, but it's bits and pieces at a time, right? You have to have the resources to access the information that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And then you have to have you think about it, it's all one of the most impactful things my dad ever taught me was follow the money.
Uh-huh.
And so there has to be an interest. There has to be a benefit for the other party. So there has to be somebody that wants something to happen or they want to accomplish. And there has to be another person that has done something that then helps them because they're worried about getting the information out because this person's figured it out to accomplish what they're looking for. So it's an economic equation is all that it is. There are very few people that are just evil sitting back going, I'm going to find information on this one particular person and punish them. It's all an economic equation. So yes, it does occur. To what extent, we really never will know. I'd be kind of hard to blackmail.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is too, is, when we were kids, our parents would tell us, or some wise person would tell us, don't do anything that you wouldn't want on the cover of the New York Times. And I guess the thing is like, hey, don't type anything into a computer. Don't look at anything. Don't say anything that you like. Nowadays, it's fair to say it's 100% someone else is going to see it. Like everything you've done, your camera phone's always recording. You just have to assume everything's recording you, right?
Everything. Absolutely everything. I mean, the NSA has access to every single basically camera on a computer.
Yeah.
Even if you've got a VPN on your phone and a VPN on your computer. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. It reroutes it so they don't know.
Yeah, it's a virtual private network. So it creates its own unique IP address that, like right now, if we had one, they think we're talking to New York.
Okay.
They even know how to break into that. So everything is out there.
All your security is a false sense of security.
Correct.
When you was there a specific reason why you ran for governor? Was there something that happened that upset you and you're like, all right, I'm fixing this shit?
Oh, that is a great question. I'll answer it as efficiently as I possibly can.
Please.
When you look at our state has been taken advantage of for a long period of time. We've, provided coal to the country for a long period of time, and we're very, very poor and don't have a lot to show for it. More importantly, when you think about the economic equation, we've been declining in population and have an aging population. And because of the way funding for Medicare and Medicaid works, what's going to happen is that our state's budget with that unique proposition is going to continue to balloon until eventually the bond ratings get cracked. It raises the cost of government and puts our poor state in a financial tailspin. So there's only one way to fix that, and that is to grow the state's population. And in 2020, I started a data company, and I call it a data company. It's just analyzing digital trends to arrive at conclusions. What it told me is that we were in the beginning stages of a population shift. And there were several things that were moving it. But literally what happened is when we locked a bunch of people down in urban areas surrounded by concrete and they couldn't get their hair, couldn't go to the gym, couldn't see their friends and family, it started making people really uneasy. And it started creating movement. And then there were economic factors that were creating movement. The Trump tax cuts got rid of the SALT deductions. And so it used to be if you lived in a high tax liberal state, you were able to deduct all your state level taxes before you sent your check in for your federal taxes. And those deductions went away. The rates went down, but the deductions went away. So 3 of the 4 fastest growing states post-pandemic were Tennessee, Texas, and Florida. And they all had one thing in common. They had a 0 state income tax. And so then you had people wanting to move to places that they thought saw the world similarly to them. And so you had someone stuck in crazy liberal California. They wanted to get out. They wanted to go somewhere where they thought people saw the world similarly to them. And so that was forcing a lot of the movement. And so I knew that there was a solution to the problem. And I didn't trust politicians to be able to think through and solve these problems the right way because none of them were seeing it or talking about it. And so in 8 to 10 years, West Virginia needs to add about 200,000 people to our state. How do you do that? You SWAT the suckers, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and you realize that we have to grow our economy to grow our population. What's happening around us? What's West Virginia got? Well, we can produce massive amounts of energy. Not only do we have coal and natural gas, but we also have more water that passes through the state of West Virginia than any other state in the country.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to send you a picture of a hydrological map of West Virginia.
Yeah.
But we've got more miles of river than any other state in the country. And we also, legally speaking, own the Ohio River to the high water mark of Ohio. So you think about what's happening out west is drying up. Arizona reservoirs drying up. Colorado River's drying up. Everything out in California is drying up. and West Virginia has more water than any other state in the country. So that also not only is the greatest resource known to life on planet Earth, but it's also perpetual power that's passing through our state that is not being harnessed right. And right now we are witnessing what is a technological oligarchy kind of form between Facebook, Meta, NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla, Starlink. As artificial intelligence moves in and basically infiltrates what is going to be the new world economy, if we don't act, we're going to get left behind. But more importantly, it takes massive amounts of power to fuel all of these servers and all of this technology, and it takes massive amounts of water to manufacture all of the artificial intelligence chips. So the idea was, let's leverage our resources, turn West Virginia into the state in the union with the cheapest power in the country, and use that as the foundation of all of our economic growth and development. Because, to use a play on words, capital flows like water to the places that it's most welcome. And what you do
so
is
lure people with your natural resources and then create more energy. What about this thing the guy in Hungary did, Chris, where the president of Hungary said if you have 3 or more kids, you don't have to pay income tax for the rest of your life?
Well, I kind of like that idea. That is a great way to solve that problem. I think we ought to eliminate the income tax in West Virginia completely as another, layer of icing on the cake. That is something that drives movement, and literally, it's not that hard. There's a blueprint on how to do this and how to grow an economy, and you have to get the government out of the way. You have to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And then you have to turn capitalism loose. And when you unleash capitalism and let people do their thing underneath the right guise of a foundation of a level playing field, it's amazing what can occur. And that is what West Virginia's strength is we could be the state in the country with the cheapest power in the country and use that as the foundation for all of our economic growth and development. And then you think about Jim and Susie Adkins that are, both 75 years old and living in their little white picket fence house. When you cut their power bill by 70 or 80%, you've done something incredibly impactful for them.
Yeah.
So not only will businesses, manufacturers, cryptocurrency, power generation, server storage, all come flocking to West Virginia if our power is that cheap, but then our residents will benefit from it as well, because we've had nothing but coal taken from our state for years and years and years and years, and don't have much to show for it. And so I just like to think like a common sense business guy and solve these problems. But here's the biggest shocker. Politics is about money. And it's really, really hard as well to articulate what you and I just talked about in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
30-minute sound bites or 30-second sound bites.
Yep.
And when you have a third of the resources of the person that wins, that becomes a problem, because it's all about frequency, reach, and gross rating points.
All these wiggly lines are waterways.
Yep.
That's wild. The whole state is water.
That is a picture of the hydrological map in West Virginia that is in my basement.
That's above ground water.
Yes, there is a aquifer system underneath us. It's like an underground ocean that is even more incredible. But the Ohio River, which runs along the west side of the state, is also West Virginia's property. We own the Ohio River to the high water mark of Ohio. And that is an incredible amount of water.
What about, does West Virginia have a nuclear power plant with water? You can build nuclear too, right?
Correct. We do not yet, but we have the ability to do so now. But it takes a long time through permitting and finding the location to do all of that stuff. So it is now just becoming a part of the conversation. But last year, the legislature passed a bill that makes nuclear able to be built in West Virginia. So it is in the works.
I pay $100 a month for electricity. Rambler, I hardly use any electricity, and mine's $500 a month. In California. I'm in California, outside of I'm like 17 miles outside of Silicon Valley. I'm in Santa Cruz, California. It's $500 a month. I don't know how people do it.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. And thank God I pull water out of the ground, but everyone around me, just as you get just 1 or 2 blocks closer to the downtown, everyone has to use city water, and that shit's expensive too.
Think about hang on. I need to plug in my computer here. I'm running low on battery.
Speaking of energy.
Yeah, right. All right, we're good. But you think about that hydrological map that I showed you. There's technology now where you can put turbines into rivers and connect them straight into the utility grid system of municipalities that constantly generates baseload power.
Yeah.
And there's also something else called pushed or forced hydro, where you can build a big lake and then another big lake. And then during peak demand times, you release all of that water and you can generate 1,000 megawatts of power as it runs through these turbines. And then it gets connected right into the grid. And then you have a little pump that just pumps it right back up to the top. And so it's this constant perpetual generation of power that is like icing on the cake to all of the coal and all of the natural gas. I mean, West Virginia has an incredible amount of natural gas. We also are the potential for geothermal power for the country. According to the Department of Energy, we can generate more power in BTUs using geothermal power than Saudi Arabia can generate in BTUs of natural gas.
What's geothermal?
That is heat from it is heat from underground. That then, you create steam power and it spins a turbine through that then creates energy. Hey, it's really expensive to drill straight down and to generate all that power. And then you don't know how long that hot spot's going to last. So there's still some technology to figure out there, but it is another option. It is more efficient to actually heat a home using geothermal power than to actually funnel it straight into the utility grid.
Isn't that what Iceland does? Doesn't Iceland use geothermal? Like the country that, that's like one of their big ones, right? They just pull heat from the ground.
Yeah, we've got a house in South Carolina on the beach, and we use geothermal to heat and cool it. It's more efficient for individual homes to use geothermal power.
I pay $300 a month in Michigan. Someone else said they pay $400 a month in London. $100 in is like $500 in rural areas. New Jersey, $250 for gas and heat.
Let me go get elected in West Virginia, and I'll cut those costs by 70 or 80%, and then we'll really be onto something. Because think about, those are parts of mortgage payments.
Yeah.
Car payments.
Yeah. You're still so young. You could is your political career still? Was that just?
I'm relentless. I do not quit. I do not let go of anything. As soon as the opening happens, I'll be right back at it. And I don't want to go into Washington D.C. Like, you could never pay me enough money to live in that place. But doing something for people and the people of West Virginia that are like, we're one of the poorest states in the country, to take it from one of the poorest states in the country and make it one of the richest states in the country, like, that's a life worth living, in my opinion.
Is the shift in presidency impactful from the Democrats running to the Republicans running the country in West Virginia?
We used to be a very Democratic state. We are now a very Republican state. We were an old school Democrat state, but in about 2016, West Virginia became full red Republican. What they're doing in DC will continue to be impactful. It's going to take some time to work its way through the system, obviously. Part of the problem with West Virginia is 40% of our economy is government.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have too much bureaucracy and not enough real free market capitalism. So that's another part of the problem.
The government really is just full of bloat, huh?
Yeah. Way too much bloat.
I read something the other day. Someone posted, he said, hey, I was 25 years in the private sector. Now I'm 5 years in government. He said it's worse than anyone could ever imagine. Just the people sitting around not doing shit.
I mean, you even think about education, for example. Like, there's so much bloat that the resources that we collect in taxes doesn't flow down to the classroom to do two things. One, pay the teachers more, and two, interact and benefit the customer. And the customer, at the end of the day, is the student and the parent. But you've got this big bloated layer that sucks up all these resources of all these people that just shuffle paperwork back and forth and don't do anything, that prevents literally impacting education. And so if you think about systems, right? We live in a world of systems. Everything is a system. And you look at just that education system, very easy to fix. You just have to have the ability to have the cojones to get rid of the bureaucracy and flow the resources into the classroom to make sure that the teacher is paid appropriately and all of the resources go to the customer, which is the student and the parent. It's not that hard. And we literally, I think, complicate stuff too much. I mean, my experience in business is that there's like 4 types of people. There are givers and there are takers. There are simplifiers and there are complicators. I want to work with the givers and the simplifiers. They're the things that they're the most enjoyable people to work with. They get stuff done and they make stuff happen. The complicators and the takers are the people that you want to siphon out of your organization. The problem with bureaucracy is there's a lot of takers and a lot of complicators. This is not that hard. We just make it hard.
Yeah. Wow. That's I think about that all the time. People who are just takers. I'm in this CrossFit ecosystem, and there's a ton of people who just take, and they don't give. And it's wild to me that more people don't say it. First they show up and they assimilate, and then they leave and take. And they're kind of like parasites on the fringe. It's a trip. Hey,
well said.
This is kind of pivoting from big picture to more focused. There was this line Dana White said a couple years ago. He said the UFC is not a career, it's an opportunity. Do you remember him saying that line?
I do.
Do you have thoughts on that? Because I feel that really resonates with me. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of people who want to fucking fight, and it's a short-lived proposition, and you should be able to leverage the fame and the platform you have, but you better be thinking or have people around you who will help you leverage that to move forward, because you can't make a career out of it unless you're the 1 in a million. Do you have thoughts on that?
That correlates to a lot of things in the world. Comfort is a breeder of dissatisfaction, in my opinion. And when, to be successful, you have to take yourself out of your comfort zone. But then you think about the science behind that, like one of the few areas in our brain that continues to develop and grow after we hit about 25 years old is the hippocampus. And how that grows is that you make yourself uncomfortable and learn from very hard experiences. And that's what grows the hippocampus. But that's like literally describing what resiliency is. And like, it's correlated to hard work. Back to what Dana White literally said, your body gets beaten up in combat. It gets beaten up in combat sports. And it's not even the fight that's the hard part. It's the training, the rigorous training. I mean, I worked out yesterday, and I'm not even training for a fight, and my freaking arm hurts. And how I control my diet literally directly correlates to the inflammation in my body. When I don't eat sugar and starches and that kind of stuff, my body heals a lot faster. Now, it was Easter on Sunday, and it's delicious, pie and cake. So like, it's that finding that balance, but those fighters go through this grueling, rigorous conditioning just for one fight. And they beat up their body over and over again. Getting to that fight and winning is what Dana said is the opportunity to have more of those opportunities. But the thing that you don't see is they need to be frugal with their money and save their money, because that opportunity is only this big, and they need to prepare for the leveraging of the marketing and the endorsements and that kind of stuff later on down the road, and also extending their education to be able to do that stuff later on, because you are not going to fight past 40 in that high competition world. That's a rare bird. So you think about how many 25-year-old kids die to have a chance just to get into the UFC, to have a couple of fights, and not all of them are going to be winners. But if they do it the right way and market themselves the right way and learn from the experience and work really hard, that hard work and that discipline is what transcends to having a professional career in something else. And it all boils back down to that, man. It really does.
It's brutal too, because you could be 9-0, finally get some eyeballs on you, and then lose your next 4 fights, and you're basically done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Unless you have a thoughtful, like charismatic type of personality that you can leverage that into something else, or you learn from all of that hard work and then apply it to what you're going to do next. But it can't be your identity.
And getting into the fight game for money is batshit crazy.
It really is. Now, this is the funny thing. Like, I really respect what Dana White has done. I'd love to meet that guy sometime.
Yeah, I respect the shit out of him too.
Yeah. But boxers in the boxing world, they make a lot more money than UFC fighters do. I mean, a lot more.
Right.
A lot more. And, That's a hard business too. But having all those different promoters, that benefits the fighters in some way, but it also minimizes the best fighting the best. And that's what Dana White has done, is that he's created this organization where the best fight the best, and he makes sure that happens. And that's why boxing was so great back in the 80s, because the best wanted to fight the best. And we're just now seeing that kind of happening in boxing again, where they're realizing this sport may not be what it is, or what it was 20 years ago in 20 more years if we don't start doing this. So best have to fight the best, man.
When you so this event's going to happen on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, this Saturday, April 26th. People can go to chill boxing,
Chillsports.net.
Chillsports.net. The winner of these divisions, they come back. They automatically get to come back, and then we'll start building characters around these guys.
Yeah,
around these.
In theory, and one of the things you'll also see is they might lose. That they might win 2 fights and then lose their last one, but they're so charismatic and engaging, and they learn how to get better. Because even if it's 60 seconds, you still got to be in at least remotely decent shape, and you got to have good hand-eye coordination. So they'll learn how to get better, and they'll come back and compete. And so somebody that wins might lose the next go-round. It winds up taking on a life of its own. But then again, sometimes people don't show up for fights, so they might win one and then go, I'm done with this, and not show up for the next one.
Do you already have the second one on the calendar?
We got lots of options. Yes. We think it's going to be the end of June in Huntington, West Virginia.
Wow. And that's you saw the need for that when you put this out, and it gets so much attention. You're like, shit, we better start thinking down the road.
Exactly. That's where my expertise came into play.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Plan the whole thing, organize it, plan it.
And how did you decide this date and time?
Well, funny enough, you talk about the inefficiency of government. This was scheduled to be in the end of March in Williamson, West Virginia.
Okay.
And southern West Virginia got hit with this incredible flood. It was awful. And I could send you pictures. Streets were flooded, cities were flooded, and we had to cancel the event. So this was the logical next choice. We didn't have a second event lined up when that occurred. And then we figured out where it could go. We were trying to be safe and find a venue that would only accommodate less than 4,000 people, not realizing, you think about it, you want to move into it slowly, right? We didn't think it was going to blow up like it did. So we moved the event to Bluefield, West Virginia, and started planning from there. And that's what's, led us to taking off. We didn't have the same amount of eyeballs on us in the Williamson event that we do now for some reason. So sometimes timing is serendipitous, I guess.
It's interesting. When I was a kid, when I went to college in Santa Barbara, there was a Circuit City store. You remember those stores?
Oh, yeah.
And next to it was a mom and pop stereo shop. And I always thought, oh, God, I feel sorry for this mom and pop stereo shop that's open next to the Circuit City. And then I talked to the owner one day. He's like, no, we chose this on purpose because people come here for the Circuit City, and then we pick up the business. If we were just off somewhere else, we wouldn't get the business. And then he was explaining to me that's why he was telling me about other businesses that huddle together like that.
Mm-hmm. Similar like why you see all these car dealerships in a row in the same area.
Right. So I was thinking, so when I saw your fights were at 4 p.m., because I watch the UFC every Saturday, I was like, oh, the UFC's on this Saturday too. And at first I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to be compete, if that's like hurts them. And then I started thinking, oh no, shit, this probably helps them because I'll already be in front of my TV and I'll already be ready to watch fighting. So I can just get both of them, and in between downtime, just go back and forth between the two.
And then you think about the UFC stuff, right? The main events don't happen until 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and on.
Right.
Which is what, 7 o'clock Pacific Time, right?
Yeah.
And our fights will be over by then.
Awesome. God, I love it. The 1 minute rounds is genius. I love it. I can't wait.
Hill, man, he figured something out. I can't take any credit for that at all.
And I can't wait to see how you guys pick the winners when someone doesn't get knocked out. It's going to be great.
I will update you as soon as we have commission approval.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, please do that. And I look forward to having you on again. You are a wealth of knowledge, and you're a gift to humanity, dude. Married man, 3 kids, sober. You're clearly generous with your time and your efforts to glorify other people. You're a cool dude, man.
I appreciate you saying that. You know,
Yeah.
we're all just a bunch of people on this rock that's spinning around this middle-aged star.
Yeah.
And what I learned a long time ago is when you do good stuff for other people, it pays back to you tenfold. And, you know, why would you not want to be good?
Please stay in touch. I would love to have you on for anything you're going to do, whether it's another boxing match, run for office, talk about nuclear reactors. You're a great dude.
I appreciate it, man. And this has been an absolute riot.
Awesome.
I see now why your podcast is so successful.
Thank you. And tell Chase I said thank you, and he's welcome on the show anytime.
You bet.
And I'll be watching Saturday.
Awesome.
All right, brother.
See you, man.
Ciao. Wow. A diamond in the rough, Chris Miller. Holy shit. What a cool dude. He's you could ask him anything. A Renaissance man. Fighting, family, politics. Should ask him about cooking. Energy, economics. Good shit. Damn. Who would have thought on this show about a bunch of fucking fighters, fucking West Virginia fighters, we'd have pulled up the waterway network for West Virginia. Hey, listen, for all the people who are going to go on podcasts, that's how you show up, like him. That's how you fucking show up. Like he just showed up. There were no boundaries. Yeah, cool dude, right, Jody Lynn? Janelle, yeah, cool. Fuck, man. Just show up. So many people show the worst. Look at even David Weed says, cool dude. So many people show up and they think like we're just going to fall into this one avenue of talking. Like, hey, dude, just bring yourself. You don't got to compartmentalize yourself. That's no way to live your life. Yes, I did pay him to be on the show. That's correct. You brought it, Pat. Next time you have me on, I got to bring it. Like, you brought it, dude. You were great on the show, too, dude. You were great. Wait, was that John Travolta? Oh, shit. I wish I would have seen that before he got off. That'd have been funny to ask him if he gets that. He could have been a character. It was interesting. There's a little bit of Sons of Anarchy, like reformed motorcycle gang member from him. I really liked him. Yeah. All right. What else? Anything else? I should have asked him about his pubic hair routine. That dude, how clean shaved? That guy was clean shaven. I was thinking about buying some shaving cream. I have some old razors like that have, in packages still. I was thinking about maybe shaving one day just to see what it was like. I haven't shaved in fucking forever. 7 degrees of separation. He knows Bajan. Such a small world. Yeah. Yeah. He's like the good looking version of Ron Perlman, right? Chris Miller was. He was like Ron Perlman before he got into too much meth. Yeah. It was the Ron Perlman vibe. Well said. Wow, Travis, you nailed it. You would look whiter than you think. You think I'd lose my Osama bin Laden kind of look if I shaved? Probably you're right. Let me see if I got anything here. I think that's it for the show. I needed that show. Oh, shit. I should have asked him about this. Ryan Garcia's back. Speaking of boxing, we might as well stay on the same motif of boxing. Ryan Garcia's back. Yeah, I really needed that show. I needed a good guest like that. Gave me like hope and love for humanity. Good people. Wow, is Ryan's nose busted up? I never noticed that. Ryan Garcia has officially served his 1-year suspension from boxing as part of his settlement with the NYSAC. He was required to forfeit his $1.2 million purse, pay $10,005, and pass drug test to be reinstated. I think that's what's that guy's name? Haney? Is that who that is? Haney? What's that fighter's name? 1 year ago today. Doug Haney? Jeff Haney? What's Haney's last name? Wow, my suspension is officially lifted on Easter. Super cool. All glory to Jesus. 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 What's his name? Doug Haney? Dave Haney? Good show, although I doubt the punch-off thing he suggested ever happened. Someone might die if that was the tiebreaker. Oh, Devin Haney. Thank you. Jeez Louise. What did I say? Dave and Doug Haney? Devin Haney. Devin Haney, Sevon. Do I need to bother? Madeline Eggert says, do I need to bother watching Mr. Friend on the Mayhem podcast? How was that? Does anyone watch that? Well, that's cool that Garcia's back. He brought a lot of hype and energy. Why aren't I saw this post from Kat Shear. I don't have an answer for it. I don't know why more dudes aren't all over her. Listen to this.
I would like to know why men do not approach me in public.
I don't even know if men know how to approach girls in public anymore. How could you be, if you're a 50-year-old dude or a 40-year-old dude and you're single, if you're
I am 52, I'm divorced. Listen, I'm not looking to get wifed up, but it would be
wifed up? Wafed up or wifed up?
Be nice to have someone to consistently go on some dates with, maybe have some fun, go dancing. I don't know, maybe a little makeout sesh every once in a while. That would be really nice. So here's the deal. I'm out there. I want to meet someone in the wild. I do not want to.
I don't understand. I think she looks great. She works out. She's focused. All the good men are married. How about the good dudes whose wives die or something? Crying out loud. Everyone needs to get railed. Men don't know how to approach women in public. CrossFit makes you stay young. Doesn't make any sense to me. I guess now that I was trying, when she said she goes to grocery stores or she goes out alone, it's funny. I guess I think men know which women are single. Do men know which women are single? They know, right? Maybe dudes are scared of her. Maybe she's too pretty. Where does she live? I don't know. Canada? No, she feels American. Oh, she probably likes tall men. Yeah, you're probably right. Herd Athletics, what's up, dude? So pumped to get my belt. I'm so pumped. So excited. Thanks for doing that. You're the man. So excited. It'll be my first weight belt ever. Of someone else to blame for how weak I am. Thank you. Oh, don't waste an email on me. Isn't it weird? Sending an email costs money. It uses electricity. I don't know how much. I wonder how much it costs. I wonder how much electricity it uses to send an email. Sevon, did you like the Kill Taylor intro this past Sunday? Oh, you don't want my answer. You want to know my fucking answer? He did the same thing every fucking jackass guy does, I know. The same fucking thing. He includes his fucking girlfriend in the bit and fucking ruins it. Every fucking dude does it. Hiller does it. Taylor does it. Every fucking dude does it. At some point, I can't wait to see, where's Maris? Maris is fucking next. All you fucking guys do it. You just can't not do it. You gotta fucking insert your chick into fucking everything. You gotta try to make him feel included. I fucking get it. Okay. Girlfriends ruin everything. Thank you, Oh, hi, Maris. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Hey. Yeah, I would love to see. I thought it was great with you in it. Maris, you'd be a wonderful addition to any of Bryson's content. Doug Reed. I thought it was funny. Yeah, it was funny. It was good. Yeah, women are bad. Shit. Everyone. When I got my first job over at HQ with an office, like when they first gave me an office, I put an extra desk in there and they're like, "Who's that for?" I'm like, "That's for my wife." And fucking Dave yelled at me. "You fucking idiot. You don't bring your fucking wife to work." She works for the company. What do you mean? She works for the company. Oh, it was my birthday. Oh, you were great. It was good. It was good. It was good. Pool Boy's good. Yeah, it's funny. It's good. I get a little concerned, like each week it's 2 seconds longer. You know what I mean? Soon I'm going to need like a whole I'm going to need to start the show 5 minutes early to accommodate all, because I could tell he has so many ideas. He wants to incorporate them. You know what I really like about them, Julia, is there's kind of like a, I like, I know that he's very creative. And so I just like watching his creative process. And the same thing has happened 3 weeks in a row where I'm like, ooh, this is going too long, but then he always finishes good, and then I always forget. Overall, I would give them as a addition to the show, an important addition to the show. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. More boob. Yeah, that's some easy feedback. Always show more boob. I tell him it's too long. I know my wife tells me it's too long too. Too thick and too long. But yeah, they're good. I'm so I'm inspired by them, to tell you the truth. I like it. And Maris, don't run and tell Bryson and Lizzie and Alexis and Hiller I said all this shit either. You just internalize that and push it down. Please. Thank you. Miss Odier. Hi. Beautiful Melissa Odier. Hi. I was watching Brian on Mayhem. 11 minutes in, I already want to slap him. I was thinking, like, how would I was thinking yesterday in the car, or I don't know when I was thinking, but definitely in the last 12 hours. I was thinking, like, what am I supposed to? I suck my own dick so often. How am I, like, am I supposed to just do it again? Like, just tell, like, yo, motherfucker, here's my resume. Like, well, you were out doing this. I was out doing this. You fucking idiot. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. I like to suck my dick on my own terms. Somebody clip it. I don't want to, I don't want to, in that one little, I haven't seen the podcast, obviously, because it went live today and I've been with you guys the whole time, but, I don't want to feel like I like what he said. I liked it. I liked what he said because it caused me kind of like to sift through and reminisce the last 4 or 5 years of all the accomplishments of the podcast. I was like, oh, we did this. Oh, we did this. And then I kind of forget even why I'm thinking about it. Oh, we did this. And like, oh shit, I remember this. But, he's just some fringe entity in my mind, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, Miss Odio, honestly, you've been the nicest to Brian, from subjecting us to his disc golf to try to be fair afterwards, but there's no saving his victimhood attitude. Olivia, I'm on new meds, more good days lately. Oh, cool. Congratulations. Has it affected your kazoo? The kazoo. I was actually, Fine, I'll suck my own dick a little bit. I was actually thinking about this last night. This is as I was going to sleep, I was thinking about this. I was actually scratching Avi's back, my oldest son's back. I learned how to scratch. You know where I learned how to scratch backs? I can tell you the secret to scratching someone's back. I learned it in when I went to pregnancy school with my wife. You know that thing that class where you do 3 hours 1 day a week for like 8 weeks. And it's like a birthing class. And they basically no, kazoo like the instrument. No, kazoo like, the squid, the kazoo, the vagina. I was wondering if their meds affected her kazoo. When I think, oh, good. No, sir. It doesn't affect the kazoo. Good. When you scratch someone's back, you use the back of your nails. It's not as satisfying for you, like when you're rubbing their back, because then you get that sensation, but it feels so good. I used to do that to my wife all the time while she was pregnant. I would rub her back with the back of my nails, just really gently. And so I do that to my boys at night. It's in high demand. And they love falling asleep to it. And then I take this and I take my middle finger and I tap on like little parts of their like little vertebrae on their spine. I go like that. Because I used to know this I used to work with this autistic guy for 5 years, and he would do that. He would tap on stuff. Like he would have an apple, and before he would eat it, he would go like this. And I loved all those like weird autistic behaviors he had. So I do a lot of tapping. I tap on my kids, like on their collarbone. I tap them a lot when they're going to sleep. They love that shit. All sorts of bizarre rituals. Anyway, as I was using my birthing skills on my son's back, I was thinking about during COVID. Because what inspired this is when he mentioned the community, and I was thinking about COVID. And I just spoke up endlessly about the abuse that gyms took, having to close down, and Eric Rosa wanting the gyms to obey all the local laws so that we could get government money, which never came. And what made me think of it is what Mark Fuentes said at the end of the podcast last night, the Dave Castro Weekend Review. Just that alone, like I could, in my mind, I can do whatever I want. While every other person ducked for cover, scared to fucking death, one short Armenian man spoke up for all the fucking gym owners to keep their fucking doors open. While everyone else cowered. While everyone else cowered, one dude spoke up every single day. Thank you. Even David knows. And with that, I can do whatever I want. Like the other list of great shit I've done is like goes on and on and on, and the list of not great shit I've done goes on and on and on. But while in the hardest time for the community, one person spoke up. Yeah, thank you. That does sound like a movie. If I was a real podcast, I'd have like music. One man alone. Craig Howard didn't cower. Right. Craig Howard didn't cower. But Craig Howard, I mean, you're absolutely right. Individually, tons of gyms didn't cower. I fucking agree with you 100%. Craig Howard's a fucking boss. He stood up. He also raised money for other gyms that were fined for leaving the doors open. Let me rephrase that. Only one gay media guy stood forward. Yeah, real men who own gyms, they stood up for themselves. You're absolutely right. I don't want to take that. Only one, let me pigeonhole myself a little more. Only one gay media guy stood up. Just think about all the negative shit anyone wants to say about me, but all the others hid. Brian hid, Craig Ritchie hid, everyone hid. I don't want. There's too many to say. They all hid. They all fucking hid. Yeah, Captain Save a Ho. Thank you. Captain Sev on a Ho. And so, like, just that one thought popped in my head. I was like, God, like what? How? Brian is damaged goods, and so I don't know what to. I don't even know what to. I don't even know how to fight with him. But I do know how to suck my own dick. So, you're not just gay. You're also a short Armenian. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. One gay short Armenian. I bet you I'm the fittest gay short Armenian. And so, like, I don't know what I have dirt under my fingernails that's accomplished more than most people. I don't know. I'm embarrassed at how fucking great I am. Hey.
Humble.
Hey, humble. I'm embarrassed at how humble I am. Thank you. I'm embarrassed at how humble I am. Thank you.
Here's a genuine question then for you, and this is just to, okay, what would you have done? Let's say you are a gym owner, CrossFit gym owner. Maybe you're struggling to make ends meet. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're doing pretty well. Either way, pandemic comes, close your gyms, blah blah blah. What do you do then? How do you respond then?
I have no idea. I'm just a gay media person. But my point is like, of the media people, everyone else fucking ran. Everyone was terrified. Everyone was terrified of BLM. Mm-hmm. They were terrified of COVID. They were terrified of the truth. One dude stood forward and protected the community and spoke up on a platform. Me. That's it. Nobody fucking else. Nobody. Not even a little bit. Not even fucking not even a little bit. But the gym owners, I don't know what to tell a fucking gym owner. I mean, that was probably really scary times. I don't know. But that's just my response to the fact of, like, he's like, what has he done for the community, or what is he blah blah. It's like, how am I supposed to argue with the retard?
Anyone that would question what you've done for the community is retarded.
Or whatever he said. I don't even know what he said. I don't even know what community means. I don't even understand the words he says.
I'm just curious, like, yeah, you
I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. I would ask, I like what Craig Howard did. He went to war. You know what I mean? I like what not Darren Hunsucker. Who's the white dude who talks like he's black out of Detroit? Affiliate owner. Wait, sorry, I lost you. Say that again. What's that guy's name?
That's a good question. Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, that guy?
No, there was a gym owner in Detroit or something.
Yeah.
God, what the fuck?
Fred Durst.
No.
You look like he was in Limp Bizkit. I know what you're talking about. I remember what you're talking about.
No.
But good dude. I remember.
He had a girlfriend.
You had him on the show.
Semifinal. Yeah. He just let people in the back door. Kind of like Taylor Self. He lets people in the back door.
Boom. So why do you think we didn't hear of more gym owners doing that? There were probably
a lot of gym owners doing it, but what I'm saying, don't take away from my show. Don't take away from my point, Jeremy. Jeremy, what I'm saying is that the people who had the voice to speak up and give people a fucking voice, they didn't. They were scared. And they would say dumb shit like, don't conflate politics with CrossFit. It's like, motherfucker, 15,000 gyms are having to force to close their doors. What do you mean don't speak up? How about fuck you? Oh, just fall in line. Just be cool. No, thank you. That was my point. I don't know what the gyms do. What do you suggest gyms do? I don't fucking know.
No, I don't know. I'm just curious to get your take on it.
Yeah, I don't mean to blame. I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming gyms. I'm just referencing like what Brian did. I'm like, do I have like something that's like the golden goose? Yeah, that I have so many golden goose moments, but that one popped into my head last night. Oh, how quickly we forget when all the other media fucking cowered. Everyone.
And I'm just. Why? That's what is.
It was scary. They had something.
Been bothering me for
scary.
5 years now.
They were
why?
scared.
Yeah, it was scary. But a lot of things in life are scary. But why did most people keep their mouth shut? That's what I'm tripping on for the last 5 years. It's scary. The government and everyone freaks out. And
Hey,
But-
think of the places where you avoided discomfort. Like my wife still went into Whole Foods, but she didn't wear a mask, but I was too much of a pussy. I just stopped going there. So like I had my places I was a pussy too. I'm not blaming those people either, by the way. I don't mean to disparage those people who didn't speak up. I was just thinking in reference. I don't blame anyone for fucking hiding. It was scary. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm saying is that in that comment, Brian said something. He said something about community. And I was just thinking, oh, you were fucking scared to death to say a fucking word on my podcast. You panicked every time it came up. You thought maybe you would be in ill graces with HQ or something. Then I started thinking about all the other people who have platforms out there. I'm like, holy fuck, they all cowered. You sat there and watched fucking, you didn't support the gyms, help keep their doors open or give them a backbone or tell people not to take the vaccine. And now people all around you are fucking dying or having heart attacks from it. And it's like, all right, cool. There's my one, Brian. Well, you fucking hid like a pussy. I fucking stood up. And there were places I was a pussy too, and my wife stood up. I get it. I'm not judging him for that. I'm just answering his question. That's it.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not like, there were places I was a pussy too. But this podcast and speaking up for the community wasn't one of them.
No, not even close. Yeah, for sure.
So like, you know what I mean?
Get up there.
He rides a fucking tricycle. I fucking ride a tractor. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't tell me anything. You have fucking no life fucking experiences. You fucking don't contribute shit to the community, and you're gonna get me riled up. You're gonna get me so riled up.
I like it. You got the sunglasses?
No, because I don't want to go into disparaging him. I just want him to I just want to milk it just enough so that I can get my list viewership up by a couple hundred views, and that's it. I just want to ride, you know what I mean? I don't want to actually ejaculate. I just want to ride the edge. I don't actually want to take the girl home. I just want to know I could.
Maybe just a tip, just for a little bit. Do you think you stole any of his viewers? The handful he's had over the years. Do you think you've taken anyone from the Friendly podcast?
I don't even know how to process that. That's like I'm looking at a dirt hole and you're like, would you like a drink of water? I'm like, I don't even see the water. I don't even understand the question. I don't know.
I want to know if people were like Brian listeners, and then they're like, you know what, the Savant's onto something. Let's go over there. Let's jump ship.
I don't even know if he has. I don't even know if he has any listeners.
He's got a couple. He's got a few.
Well, I hope not. If go back over to Brian, he needs you more than I do. Go back over there.
Hey, did you go to church on Sunday?
I'm always in church.
Oh, stop! Did you get your prayers in? Are you even caught up in The Chosen? Have you seen the ending yet?
No. What's the last one I watched? I watched but I have so many conversations open up in my text messages, on Instagram. I've phone calls about people who want to tell me about God. It's so fucking wild.
Your audience.
They speak to me with so many presuppositions. It's crazy. I don't even know.
Your audience is what, 75% Christians?
Yeah.
That's about fair, right? At least 75%.
It's 90%. There's only two non-Christians. David and
Dave and Pat.
Dave and Pat, and Seema Boobs is Muslim.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I think Standy might also be maybe not a non-believer, but she sure as hell doesn't like talking about it.
She's a Jew.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. But
I know. I like. By the way, I like the God talk. Because we love you. Thank you. Love you too. But I love the God talk. It's just that there's a point where some people just get stuck. Like they're so stuck in the story. You're so stuck in the narrative, and I get it. You want to talk about the story, and I get it. But there's a part outside the story, and that's the part that that's where, for me, that's where the more stimulating conversation is.
I've long since thought that the story is great. The story is amazing, but outside of the story, there's some real cool stuff, cool places you can go, conversations, and I don't know. I think there's also a little control that goes there. They want to control the narrative.
Yes.
They want to kind of control your direction of how God's going to work in your life, or however you want to word that. And I think that's an illusion, the illusion of control. We have to
Jeremy,
let that go. If you really believe,
they're doing the same things that happened to the Jews. They're doing the same things that the Torah did to the Jews. They're just following. They got stuck in the rules again. If I'm understanding the Chosen right, this motherfucker came and was like, all right, you're free from the fucking Torah. That didn't work out quite as planned. It was supposed to help point you and put you in connection with God, but you guys got too dogmatic about that shit. Let me free you from that. And now they're fucking dogmatic. They got dogmatic and they got stuck with whatever they're like analyzing every part of the fucking narrative and twisting it instead of just, hey dude, just have faith. Hey man, you can have and I also see people compromising their faith with belief. Like their beliefs are stronger than their faith. And I'm like, ooh, that's
running around proving everything instead of actually having faith in it. Like, if we believe God is as powerful as he is, we have to also understand that he's more powerful than our whatever we can do for someone else. So, for example, Pat has often brought up, like, what about people on islands that are barbaric or have never heard of Jesus? Or, well, if God is as powerful as we believe he is, he's going to work it out. He's going to have some plan. He's going to have something. We don't have to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Jeremy, what are all these people going to do? What are all these Christians going to do, and all these Muslims and believers? What are they going to do when they get to the gates of heaven and they find out that God sent Hitler down to fucking free the Jews and bring them to him? And the whole time that Hitler was the angel of all angels, freeing Jews, bringing them to God's side. But they, for some reason, thought that he was evil and called him evil because they think that they can see evil. What then? Like this projecting of how God works, that like it's so obvious that 90% of the Christians I speak to, they've created God in their own image. And it's like, dude, how are you so arrogant that you think you know?
Yeah,
well, because it says right here in this book. Okay, well, then you're smarter than me. I hope you're right. I hope it's as simple as you guys think.
Your quotes, we argue his limitations.
Constantly arguing his limitations. Yes, constantly arguing.
He can only do this and only will do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, they don't realize it. Like heaven's this great place, but if someone kills someone and they go there, it's bad. It's like, wait, what? I just thought it was a good place.
Yeah, man, it's deep. That's very deep.
But either way, don't worry. You'll be you don't even have to be forgiven, because even forgiveness is transcended in heaven. So don't even worry about it. You're good. Just remember, go to the light. Sevon, how much do I have to pay you to block Jeremy?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christos.
Was that Standy? Pat? David?
Yeah.
Who hates me today?
It's your fan club.
All of the above.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right, man. I'll let you go.
Okay. Bye.
We'll talk later. Peace.
All right. Man, you always ruin my day, Pat. You are in control, Ken. You are in control. God heard my prayer and the phone call ended. Data point. All right, what should I do? I showed you guys the guy who stuck his finger in the dog's butt. I erase that. That was kind of cool, right? Would you do that? Is anyone going to do that? If anyone ever does that, you know how the other day I tied that knot? I tied this knot. It's what's this one called? Not the fishing knot. The it's like a noose. This one. Wait. You do this X, and then you make this little loop here, and you stick it through and pull. Remember this thing? And then later on in the show, some guy said he made it and was able to catch a dog. I taught you guys something from the wealth of knowledge on this show. Taught you a knot, and some guy saved a dog. A camping knot? No, it's just a noose. The gay knot? Yeah. Yeah. David, you put this around your ball sack, and you just pull it tight. You hold it with your mouth. Anyway, well, let me know if anyone saves a dog, breaks up a dog fight by sticking a finger in a dog's ass. Please tell me. Please tell me if you ever do that. If you ever do that, you get a free pound of coffee from Paper Street Coffee. You call in and tell me the story about how I did it once. You did that? You stuck your finger in a dog's ass? Oh, minus the finger. Yeah. I only want to hear about the finger. My friend tried that. It didn't work. It took that guy like 2 or 3 attempts. At first, my husband stuck his finger in your ass. First he was doing this to it. Remember that? He was just kind of like just rubbing it. And then you know what was crazy? Did you notice when he was done sticking his finger in the dog's ass, he would walk around with his finger like this? That's what I would do too. If I've never put my finger in the butt of anything, but if I would hold my finger out like this too afterwards. I would be like afraid it was going to come close to me. So there's that. Okay, no worries. No Matt Souza show today. People are sending me all sorts of clips from the show Brian did with I haven't seen this. I'm going to pull this up. People are sending me clips of the Rich Froning podcast. Let's see. Someone sent me this one. Let's see this one.
The nail in the coffin for us.
Have you heard that it's already sold? That's what I've heard. But I've heard there's also a grace period where another buyer can potentially
It's so
offer.
convoluted, the system that I've heard, and I don't even know if I know the right system. I have talked to several people in play for the thing, and I don't know if I truly understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's
if the right people buy it, a right group of people buy it. I mean, here's the deal: is it has to make money, right? And so, if the right people buy it, yeah, I could see where we fit into it. But if the wrong people buy it, I don't know. Maybe Mayhem becomes something else, but we'll see.
Yay! All right. 2 businessmen speaking. Maybe I won't even have to watch it. Maybe people will just send me clips the whole time. You want to see another clip? Let me see. You guys want to hear another clip? Shit, I lost it. Oh, there. This one.
the issue that I have at this point is with how the sport's being handled and governed
Sport
and run.
and community, sport and affiliates.
I don't know as much about the affiliates.
Yeah.
I don't know as much about the training.
Yeah.
So you won't hear me talk about that much because it's outside of my area of expertise.
Oh shit. Holy shit. And that, my friend, and that, my friend, and that, my friend, says it all. My wife's so upset with me. Well, why don't you talk to her? I don't know anything about talking. I'm just an expert on fucking eating pussy. Sorry. Sorry. That's it. I didn't I didn't know that there was anything else more to women. You mean you can actually talk to them and have kids with them and shit like that? Fuck, I had no idea. It's not my expertise. I just eat the pussy. I don't know anything else about women. My car doesn't work. Did you put gas in it? I don't know. That's not my expertise. That's not my expertise. I just put the key in and turn it. Well, you got to put gas in it for it to go. It's not my expertise. Buddy, it's those gas is crucial to the applicability of what is an automobile. Talking to a woman and having a relationship to her is vital to the relationship with the pussy. You know that, right? Car got to have gas in it. You want to have a happy pussy, you got to talk to it and look at it and like deal with it, not just as a singular item, just as a pussy. Isn't there like some like wisdom thing where like 15 people are touching an elephant and they're blind and they all describe it completely differently? That's like Brian, but he has his hand up the elephant's ass. And he's just taking shit out and eating it. I knew I shouldn't have fucking gone down these clips. He's his own worst he's like Rain Man. Just someone, Patrick, fucking put a leash on him, keep him in a cage, release him at events so he can commentate, and then put him back, dude. He reminds me of these retarded people I used to work with. And I don't mean to pick on retarded people. These people were actually retarded, and they thought that money was made in ATMs. They thought fucking money was made in ATMs. That's like Brian's like knowledge of CrossFit. It's tantamount to like some little kid thinking that you just go to an ATM and money comes out of it. I don't know if it's cognitively impaired. It's like seeing the world like this. Imagine. Wow, he's something else. He should have just stayed. I'll tell you a conversation I had with Taylor. It's not gonna come out right, but when we were doing Kill Taylor, I was in discussion with Travis was talking with Taylor and talking with me. I don't think we were on the same text thread, and we were talking about making the t-shirts for Kill Taylor or something. And Taylor said I don't remember how it happened. I'm not going to do it justice because Taylor was being super cool. This isn't try to paint Taylor in the negative way at all. It's actually to talk about how positive he was. I was talking to Taylor and Travis, and I finally said, "Hey, Travis, stop talking to Taylor about the shirts. Only talk to me about the shirts." Which I think I probably need to tell him that again because I didn't even know the fucking yellow shirt was coming out. But that might be my fault because I can be really hard to get in touch with. But either way, and then I told Taylor, I'm like, "Hey, dude, don't worry about the shirts. Don't worry about the money about the shirts. Don't like that's not your domain at all. You can either trust me on that or not." He's like, "Check. It's off my mind." And he was done with it. Like, never talked about it again. It's like I said, "Hey, if you ever see me driving a fucking Bentley, or doing anything that makes it look like I'm making fucking money, then you can be like, hey, dude, what the fuck's up? Can I get a cut of the shirts? Until then, don't fucking talk. Just don't talk to me about money until then. Taylor's like, check, got it. And that's just the trust in the relationship we have. If you don't want to have that trust in that relationship with me, then you don't have to. I had that relationship with Brian, but he couldn't do it. And not around the money thing, but he can't drive his own fucking car. He ends up in the wrong lane, going the wrong way in traffic. He like, someone just needs to just keep him in his fucking lane. Just like there's so many things that I just stay in my lane about. Fuck. Fucking nuts. I honestly, I don't know how Patrick Clark does it. I honestly don't know. Anyway, I hope the podcast does well. With is it getting a lot of views? That would be awesome if it gets a lot of views. No, it's not. 2,000 views in 2 hours. 3,000 views in 2 hours. That's good. I hope it beats the Austin Hatfield video. And the Bible one. And the resurrection one. I wonder if Rich had to take a shower after that podcast. Sevon watching Brian like a poor dude watches his ex-girlfriend's Instagram stories. I didn't do Facebook. I still don't do Facebook, but I always thought that if I did do Facebook, that's what I would have. That's the only thing I could have thought of using Facebook for. Tracking down who's fucking my ex-girlfriends. Yeah. I'm just wondering who's fucking my ex-boyfriend, Brian. Oh, Rich is fucking him now. All right. I'm happy for them. David, what's the longest you've gone? Like you railed a chick and then you didn't rail. Did you ever like rail a chick and then didn't see her for 10 years and then rail her again? What's the longest like window you've gone? You know what I mean? There were booty calls. You know what I mean? Like, do you have a lot of like booty calls? Like, do you ever have to dip like it's fucking 9:00 at night and you're just like, fuck, who am I gonna fuck? And like your 3 go-tos are fucking taken, so you call one from like 10 years ago. Sergio, Serginho, cute kid. I thought Brian came across well on the podcast. However, I understand I don't know behind the scenes, Brian, like you guys do, as you all sling the same tune. Even Pedro, I trust your judgment fully. I got nothing. Good. No, go run with your own assessment of them. It's fine. There's nothing. I will tell you this. I know 13 people who've spent. Each of them has spent 3 hours on the fucking phone with him, minimum, up to 20 hours on the phone with him, up to 50 hours on the phone with him, trying to explain to him the constant issues that people have had with him, the different issues that spanned over a 3-year period. And it doesn't matter. And all of us had the same conclusion when we compare notes. Like he has the same line, I'll try to do better, or I understand your position. We can agree to disagree. It's like, he just has a blind spot. Something's just off. He just doesn't, he hasn't found his tribe yet. Maybe Pat's his tribe, but there's something off. I'm more than open to thinking that I failed Brian as a friend. The world's greatest friend, Sevan Matosian, failed Brian Friend as a friend. I tried. I'm open. 5 years. You went 5 years? Wow. That's awesome. Was it better? Was it better? Did you regret it? That's cool. That's fun. That's spiritual. I think that's spiritual. Were you better the second time? You gave space for the Frisbee show. I enjoyed hanging out with him on the internet. He was really cool the first, 6 months. Then I don't know what happened. He started shifting a little bit, and all these people started noticing it around me. Everyone's like, "Hey, what's going on with Brian?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. He's just coming into his own." And then more and more people went from, "Hey, the show went from being like lighthearted to like he's like condescending to you." I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care." And I had a super high threshold for it, and then he decided to leave. You have to remember, he decided to leave the show. I didn't ask him to leave the show. He decided to leave the show. It was always an issue for him. After the first like 6 months, it was always an issue. He was kind of like always like looking for something better, you know? So he left. That's it. But there's some personal accountability and responsibility issues for sure that the gentleman has, that the disc golf was gay. Yeah, I like gay. Gay's fun. Yeah, that was a big that's a big criticism that a lot of people have with him. People believe that he's a populist. That he's just trying to figure out what the most popular thing is. And he admitted that to me in the beginning. I mean, basically he had goal. He really wanted to work at HQ. He really wanted to have a commentary position at HQ. That was like the dream of dreams, right? Like to commentate the CrossFit Games. He was very clear about his aspirations. And so if there was friction between myself and HQ, there could be perceived friction between me and everyone at all times. Me and Melissa, me and Jason, me and David, me and Travis. We can all, like, it could be perceived anytime. I realize I'm that kind of character. And so he didn't, that didn't sit well with him, right? So he was probably torn. The most popular CrossFit Games update show in the space that he wanted to be on, that he was a great contributor to. And then but also like, sure as fuck HQ wasn't going to do anything at that time during the woke era to affiliate with the Sevan podcast. So, me and Yash, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out, Yash. Perceived. Bro, I forgot I'm not a Christian viewer. Oh, but Hindu viewer. A little friction between me and Slater. All right. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Getting late. This is usually a big day for me. Tuesdays are usually really busy for me. I wonder what I'm doing today. I need to get my schedule.
Hey.
Hi.
No, because they're bringing Dre here.
Okay.
She's not even here yet.
Okay, and then
we leave at 9:30, but I can take them.
And then what do I have to do today?
Then you have to take Avi to tennis by noon.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And then, yeah.
Okay.
So,
do you have a preference on what you do? Did we decide, or are we stuck in like indecision mode? Do you want to go? What
I
would you
mean,
rather do? Would you rather take him to his private or go to gymnastics and drink coffee?
I really don't care. I mean, I want to see gymnastics. I haven't been, so I can, but I can also do it on Thursday. Either way. Do you have a preference?
I just like going. If I stay home, I would stay home with Avi and Ari,
Yeah.
and then I'll probably
I
go.
might bring Ari. I'm not sure.
I'll probably like take them like to Home Depot or to ride one wheels at the beach or something.
Or you should work out.
Oh, I should work out. No, I'm
So
taking
that
today
if
off.
I
I'm
go,
taking today off.
oh, you are?
Yeah, I don't normally
okay.
take days off. I need to try. I need to force myself to take a day off. I'm beat up.
Okay.
So
That's good.
But I like the drive there because then I can like call people. You know what I mean? Then I'm in the car for an hour and I can just
Yeah.
call people.
Okay. Either way, Joey's been asking me to go, so if I don't go today,
Oh, okay. No,
I
then
should go Thursday.
No, then you should go. Oh, unless you want to go Thursday and watch all the kids.
Let me see what. I need to check my schedule on Thursday.
Slater says, Sevon, that's a hint. You should go work out if your wife's telling you to. No, listen. She's telling. She knows that like I'm obsessed with working out every day.
Yeah.
That's why she's saying that. Nice try.
And I'm being selfish, so I can work out after if I took him to gymnastics.
Oh, when I'm at well, when do you work out? When do you work out? Are you going to go somewhere? Or are you going to work out at home?
I would work out at home while you're at gymnastics. Otherwise, I would want to do it after. I'd want to drop them off at tennis and come home and get something in.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Did we solve anything?
No, I'm going to come inside now.
Okay.
We can arm wrestle.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Hey, dude, my guest today was amazing.
Oh, good.
Chris Miller. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's amazing. Oh, Hal Roberts says she's going to gymnastics settled. That makes me think I should go.
Perfect.
Who's more fit, me or you?
Who's more fit? I mean, you can handle a lot more than I can in some capacities. So I don't know. Who do you think?
I've seen you handle a lot.
It depends what the workout is and what we're doing.
Maybe we should have
if we went to hot Pilates, I'm more fit.
Maybe we should have our own little CrossFit games. We should have like Taylor program a game for us.
Oh my God, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the workout you did the other day with the 50-pound dumbbell, I would probably use 35. I guess that's
who's better at double unders?
Scaling appropriately. I think I'm better now. I think you used to be better. I think I'm better than you now.
Who's better at pull-ups?
You.
Who's better at high rep squatting?
High rep squatting?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's close.
Really?
Probably
I've never done 300 air squats in 10 minutes. You can do it, and you can do it with your eyes closed.
That's true.
All right.
But start adding weight, and then I think you beat me. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm better on the assault bike.
You are way better on the assault bike. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Matosian. Even though it doesn't say it on her driver's license. I know. That's weird. It's weird. What, just building up his ego? I guess so, yeah. I don't know if I can do Murph. I definitely can't do it right now. I got some issues that need to reside. That need to chill out. Maybe we should leave on something oh, okay. Here we go. We'll finish on a high note. Okay.
Only kid in the 5th grade who doesn't have a phone yet. Proud of it. Kind of weird because like there's like so many group chats or hanging out and stuff, and I'm just like not part of it. But I have a lot of friends, and I said, well, I get ripped while they're doing their TikTok stuff, and then I'm like ripped and get all the ladies, and then all these guys are fat and miserable, and they're watching. Ooh, my TikTok. Ooh.
But you said you're proud of it.
Yeah.
Why are you proud of it?
Phones are kind of ruining this age, I feel like.
This is really interesting coming from an 11-year-old boy's perspective who's in 5th grade. What do you mean phones are ruining?
It's just like
How most of it's bullshit, but how is that true? Do you think that in the 5th grade kids have phones? Is that 7th grade phones? Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't understand. Maybe I will understand. Oh, I got what's this? Another clip. I haven't seen this. Let's see.
Squatting that we did.
He's got a whole list on his phone of all the things I said. I still talk to Sevan all the time. I have a great friendship with him and never want to give that up. So maybe there'll be an opportunity. I don't necessarily give anything away on that. I kind of like lost all my friends. And then in 2018, I just took a chance, sent a DM to Sevan Matosian. He responded, gave me an opportunity, and everything since then has kind of like that was a turning point for me, and not only in my profession, but kind of in my life. Yeah, I kind of like lost all my friends. I mean, look, whether you like him or not, Sevan has been a massive catalyst and advocate for exposing people to CrossFit athletes over the years. And when I was doing shows with him regularly, he was very open-minded to if I suggested someone or some people to be on the show, to doing those shows, because there's a huge part of
My response to that is that if you don't like Taylor Self, it's your fucking loss. You're missing the opportunity. You have built up a wall against something that has an opportunity to meet one of the greatest, most energetic, powerful human beings blossom into manhood right before our eyes, and watch him learn about himself and be a good role model and contribute. And if for some reason you don't like him, you should change your story or drop your story that you have about him, because I'm fucking telling you, he is fucking amazing. And I say that from the bottom of my fucking heart. That's my response to that. I would never say, yeah, Joe Ellis, my friend, whether you like trannies or not. I would never say that to you. I'd be like, dude, drop the fucking story you have about trannies and hang out with fucking Joe. Joe's cool as shit. You will evolve as a fucking human being. That shit with whether you like him or not, go fuck yourself. That's just defensive mechanism shit. I don't give a shit. Like, anyway, that's it. Okay. Love you guys. Bye-bye.